In this video, I'm going to show you how to get set up reading cryptocurrency charts that look a little bit like this. Looks pretty complicated, but actually once you know how, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to go step by step through the processes that I go through to actually read these charts, just from a beginner standpoint. So very simple to get set up. What we need first is to actually use a trading system that has this for us. I use Bybit. I also use Binance, amongst others. I'll leave links to these below. You can get a deposit bonus on Bybit up to around $4,000, which is really great. That's for the futures market though. If you're a real beginner, I wouldn't recommend trading in the futures market, but they have spot markets as well on Bybit. Also, Binance has everything as well. I'll leave links to everything in the description below, plus the timestamps as well. I also recommend TradingView. TradingView is free. You can go and use it and really start practicing around. There is a paid version as well, but you can use the free one as well. So I'm going to use both Bybit and Binance in this tutorial to show you. So the first thing we need to do is actually get set up on the chart. So, download one of those one of these platforms in the description. And once you have that, follow along with me right here. So what we need to do is go to the type of chart that we're using. So if we click on this, you can see there's lots of different charts. And if you're a real beginner, you'll be used to line charts, right? That look a little bit like this. These are no good. These just don't tell you anything. So we need to go to candlestick charts. So make sure you've got candles. Hollow candles, it's just a design feature. If you don't know what candles are, I'll very quickly show you that. All candles do is just give us more trading information for the time period that we're looking at. So let's draw one right here. So a candle basically has four different markers to it. The first one is an opening price. The second one is a closing price. And then there's two wicks that go up and down. And this will be the high price for the time period and the low price for the time period, right? So there is a price during, let's say, an hour. And this is what happens in it. Now, because the open was here and the close was here, you obviously have to color this in green because the price moved up during the time period. It actually went all the way up to here. Right here, and it went down to here during the time period, but we know that the opening and close are right here, so that is the body of the candle. Now, if during a time period it actually moves down in price, what you'll see is the next hour, the next time period, it will open up, let's say here, move up to here, which is great, but then move all the way down to here and close around this level. So we can put this in, and then that will obviously be red because the open was here and the close was here. So that's all it does. It gives you an open, a close, and then the wicks tell you where the price went during that time period. So what we can see really is that these candles give us way more information. So the first thing is to get candles on there, and then you can see during each time period right here exactly what happens. So during this time period, what happened is that we opened up here and it's a red candle. So during that time period, it moved down, the price moved down. Something that you might want to do is change the time periods that you're looking at. And this will change depending on what type of trader you are and your time horizon. If you're trading short term and day trading, you're going to want shorter time periods for the candles. If you're trading longer term, you're going to want to look at longer candles, because long term you're looking at long term trends, short term trading you're looking at short term trends, so you need more information. We can really easily do this by coming up to the trading system, and on the left hand side you can see all of these time periods, a 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, all the way up to day, week and month. This means that the candle that you're looking at is a certain time period. Right now I'm on the daytime period, but if I switch to 4, you can see the chart moves. I'm just going to reset the chart here. Each candle is now 4 hours in length. This is coming shorter, so it's giving me more information about short-term trading movements. If we go down to the 15 minute, you can see it changed again. So now each candle is 15 minutes in length. Now if you zoom out, what that's telling me is that essentially yesterday we had a big sell-off like this, and then we're kind of in the last few hours or so kind of consolidating right here. But if you take a look at, let's say, the month chart, you can see basically the information, obviously that information, you can't even see it. So if we zoom in, basically what we can see is actually over the last month, we're actually up, right? So that's what you can see. Basically this month, and this month down. And then in the last month, this current month, we're actually moving up. You can see the wick moves all the way up to this level at 45, and we're actually down from the highs, but we're at 40,600 now. We're still up during this month from the candle open to where we are now. So this doesn't give you a lot of information. Long-term trading, it's better. Short-term trading, you're going to need much shorter candle time scales. The next thing we want to do is put moving averages on the chart. A moving average is literally a moving average of the price and the amount of periods you can choose yourself. So what a moving average is it takes a series of prices, usually the closing price of an asset. Now, Bitcoin doesn't close, it's open 24/7. So what it will do is just take the price at, let's say, 10 a.m. every day. And what you can do then is plot a moving average of those prices over a certain number of time periods. So if we think about this, what we can do is go to indicators like this, and we want to type in moving average. So you can see there's lots of different ones. To keep it simple, you can choose MA, moving average, just to keep it simple. Now, what this does is we can come right here. I've actually got EMAs on here, which are exponential moving averages. What that does is place more weight and importance to the prices that happen nearer the current time rather than in the past. So there's just different ways to look at this, but a moving average is very simple, called a simple moving average, or you can use exponential moving averages, which place more emphasis on current prices. But we obviously have to change this. So you can come to settings right here, and then the length is really important. How many periods do you want that moving average to actually show you? Now, what's really important to know is obviously if we take a 20 period moving average, that means we're looking at the last 20 periods. This is known as short term. Also, we can have a 50 period moving average. This is short term as well. You're looking at maybe a month and a half or something, almost 2 months worth of, prices right here. So these would be kind of short term. Then you're looking at, anything above this up to about 100 would be kind of medium term, I would say. 100 is starting to get long term, but anything under that's medium term. And then we're looking at something like a 200 period moving average. This would be a long-term moving average. 200 periods, if you're looking at a day, that's obviously 200 days. That's almost a year worth of trade, right? So really, if you're trading short-term, you're looking at shorter term, like 20 and 50. And if you're looking at longer-term moving averages, it's kind of 100 up to 200. So you can put those on here. Why this is important is because all moving averages do, and you need more than one, otherwise it kind of doesn't make sense. All a moving average is tells you in context where the price is moving. And you obviously need two to tell you where that is. So what you can see is a lot of traders will take a shorter period and a longer period. Right now you can see I've got a 50 and a 100. What that's telling me, the 50 is in yellow and the 100 is in blue. So what I'm seeing right here is a shorter period and a longer period. The yellow is going to more closely track the current price, and the longer 100 EMA is going to more closely track longer term prices. The prices way in the past are going to have more effect on that. So all it does, it tells me where is the short term price moving in relation to slightly longer term price trends. I can use this then as context into how the price is moving and possibly look at, start to think, okay, how's the price moving and where will it go in the future? So what we can see here is that the short-term moving average was moving down. Price is moving down, and so does that short-term period moving average. What you can see is that the short-term period moving average is moving away from, so diverging away from the longer period. That's obviously very bullish, going up, right? But then it's starting to turn right here. When prices start to turn and start to converge down together, this is kind of a bearish signal if you're moving down. So what we can see is it's moving down, away from, but what we can see is it's starting to kind of bottom out here again. So traders would say, actually, shorter term, the price seems to be consolidating and possibly moving back towards this longer term period moving average. So this might be somewhere where they look to trade, or they'll wait until this yellow kind of moves through or looks like it may move through the longer as an area to trade. So if you're going long and buying, you'll say, okay, I'm going to wait for this yellow to actually stop moving away from the blue and actually have them converge and possibly start to move up again. That would be like a signal to try and actually go long. Or if you think actually they're converging and they're going to, diverge again to the downside, then obviously you maybe sell or go short there. Obviously, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend shorting using futures or anything, but that is how people use moving averages. Basically, they give you context to where the short-term price action is versus longer-term price action, and then you can get some, different trading signals based off of that. At this point, I just want to plug my crypto investor course. If you want to know more about this, that goes through kind of more the professional side of things and looks at trading, putting trends on the chart, really analyzing the chart. You can see all these lectures that I have in my course right here. It's a whole crypto investor course with like 150 videos. Videos are added for free over time as well for existing users. We have private Discord groups that you can come and get some advice in. And if you want to talk to me in those groups, I'm in them as well. So I'll leave that link in the description. But what I really want to do now is talk about putting trend lines on the chart. So you can see this kind of, Picasso painting right here. Why have I put these lines on? So I just want to draw these right now. So what you want to do is find areas of value. And this is really important. So what I'm going to do is just take these off right here and have basically a free chart. Now, what I can do is zoom out and really find areas where the candlestick charts are consolidating and trading in a very tight range. This is known as an area of value. Why? Because when traders meet support and resistance at a very close range, it tells me that that's an important price level, and price levels tend to navigate towards those previous levels. So what I can see right here is that this is definitely an area of the chart that was resistant. So I'm just going to click this trend line right here and draw this on. Now I'm going to draw it all the way over to the current price. Why is this an important level? If you can see on the chart right here, you can see the price bounced once, twice, 3 times, and then actually 4 times around this level as well as resistance. This is an important price level, obviously, because the price is trying to go higher but being rejected off of it. Funnily enough, resistance sometimes turns into a support level if the price breaks through as well. So what we can see is that down here, support is right here. It was resistance and now it's support. Then we come over even to the recent times. You can see when this downtrend occurred, it also found support at this level as well. And then again, it broke through this and is now trying to find support again at this level. This is obviously a very key price level right here. And hopefully you can see now when I'm saying it, the resistance, the support, the resistance, and now the support again. So this is a key price level, and that is why I draw the line here. So we're at this price level right now. So where's the price going to go? Let's try and find other areas of value and support and resistance. So we're going to click this trend again. Now what we want to do is place one below and one above to really get a couple of price levels. So what I can do is come back to the previous chart and find other areas of support and resistance, and I think that's around this level right here. So I'm just going to draw this on, and you can definitely see that again, right? So during this price action at around here, just zoom in, you can see we found support once, twice, 3 times. We actually broke through this and it became resistance around here. Support resistance here, broke through it. So this is definitely a key price level. Now, as we put this over here again, you can see that when we had this sell-off, again, it found support at this level. This is obviously a key level. So definitely this level as a very big, wide kind of area of value, that's on there. Now, what you can also do is obviously find mini levels in between that as well. So if I just copy this and paste it, we can draw another level on, and I would say this level around kind of here is another level. So you're actually seeing a lot of price action around here. It was resistance back here and then support here. So this is another level. Now you can get really minute if you want. You don't have to. You can kind of zoom out a little bit. Depends on if you're really, really short-term trading or longer-term trading. To the upside, we need to put a level on here, and I can definitely see this over the shorter term as an area of support and resistance. So I'm just going to draw that on the chart around here. Again, it's the same thing, right? So if we look, we have support, resistance, breakthrough, more support right here, and now it turned into resistance and resistance. So this is support and resistance, depends when the price breaks through, but these are levels, these are key levels that I would look at. So what I'm looking at now at 40,500 is, it better find resistance here. Otherwise, it's going to break down and probably go to 38. That's where the last resistance was. Or if it's really bearish, it's going to come down to maybe 36 to this level. If it bounces from here, that's a really great option, and we could see another retest of this 40. If you're trading short term, then obviously you're saying, you know what, I think this is a decent price that we're going to see a bounce off. You would go long here at 40.5 and then maybe try and ride it up to the next level at 44. Now, it gets way more complex than that. And there's a lot of different types of chart patterns as well that we can use, but I want to keep it simple for this one. How to draw trend lines on and how I get things like this over time. You can color code them red to the downside, green to the upside as well. So how do we use technical analysis to actually predict prices? Well, unfortunately, we can't do that. The only thing we can do is really give ourselves a percentage chance and then look at areas of value to go in for a trade and also, you know, put some risk mitigation in there. I'm not going to go over that in this video, but essentially what we want to do here at 40,000 is make a decision on if we're bullish right now so we can go long, or if we don't want to trade or even go short. The way that you do that is really analyzing the market, and that's obviously a much bigger thing to do. I go through that much more in my crypto course, or, you know, just subscribe to the channel to see my market updates and see where I think the market is. So obviously market news and everything like that is going to influence the price much more. The only thing we can do is put these levels on the chart and then try and trade some of these levels. So if you do think that the market is actually quite bullish now, then what you can see here is basically a support level. So this would be a good area to go long and then try and take profits up at these green levels. If you think that we are basically meeting resistance again during this downtrend, right, then you would basically go short at this level and look to take profits back around here. Or, you know, if you don't want to trade short, you just kind of stay out of the market and maybe wait to buy back at some of these support levels. So I go through really specifics in terms of putting orders in, putting risk mitigation in other videos. So I'll definitely link them in the description. Obviously, if you want, you know, the pro version, check out the crypto course linked in the description as well. If you want to use Binance or Bybit, then I'll leave those links in the description. You can get those deposit bonuses, and TradingView is down in the description as well. That is completely free. There is a pro version as well, but you can use the free version. I'm James with MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.